Thursday, if I remember correctly, is when that comes out.
Yes, maybe. Probably.
And that's when I'm going to go see Spider-Man.
I don't have any opinion on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know you don't, but I'm fucking pumped. That Resident Evil movie.
Spider-Man is one of those ones that I'm aggressively neutral on.
Oh, really?
Like I really just don't care. As opposed to just being like, I don't like this guy's design, or I think it's the tone. It's the tone of Spider-Man that I'm not like crazy about. Because I grew up only liking Batman, and I like that. So I grew up liking the dark, edgy tone. So now I don't really care anymore.
The flip flop between like wacky, sarcastic hijinks and like overwhelming guilt and teenage angst doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, not anymore. I am not 17.
I'm not 17, but I'm excited about Spider-Man. Doctor Strange is in it. Other Spider-Mans are in it.
That's why I enjoyed the Arkham games, because it was like, yeah, no, this is the right tone for the world I want to play in for Batman.
I still haven't played the back half of those. I did Asylum and City.
Anyway,
are you guilty?
We left off in the middle of a lot of things.
Just thinking.
We had just found out that there was an eighth Hardy named Ruby?
Ruby is correct.
And we finally snapped drama out of the fucking lust fog he was in about this woman to get to the point where we can question her about whether or not she needs to be arrested.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
See, drama might have gone a little too far to the other end of the spectrum now.
All right, so what we were determining, basically... Do we arrest this woman?
Yeah. Your real name isn't that.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Yeah, fair. All right.
Yeah, she just kind of broke there.
It's not.
I knew it!
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
I mean, that sounds reasonable. I don't know. I feel like if I pursue this line of questioning, I'm just going to feel bad about myself. You didn't even win the beauty pageant.
They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Okay, maybe you won the beauty pageant.
For lying.
Shut up, drama. You're not... Why are you never useful?
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
What if you didn't make the call to the station?
What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Okay.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
Kim, why haven't we arrested her?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
What is...
You're not sure.
Yeah, like, why are we even talking about this? I'm going to call you a devil woman because it's there, and now I have to.
Her hand trembles. She's only pretending she didn't hear you say, devil woman.
What if I told you you're under arrest?
But I haven't done anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case.
Okay, but is that it?
Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
We uphold international law. I don't want to say any of these things.
The lieutenant produces a pair of
Whoa!
cuffs.
Mo now.
Please, no. I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
Oh, okay.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
And why do you think she did?
Has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
And what is that?
Sex.
No, I
And
meant
more.
what is sex?
I made the mistake of
No,
confiding
please explain
in her.
it to me.
I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but
So all of the problems with Titus, but like even more
I
so.
don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
she said she's
Kim.
in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
Even if the answer weren't that direct, I don't think it's that hard to figure out.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
So how could she have killed him?
You said there was a secret route there, right? She could have come up through there, then taken this shot right here, where I stand. It was too dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Oh, yeah, okay. That takes
I
that
don't
gets
know,
the whole
with these load times.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes. She's been up here many times. She used to come to drink on the roof when,
That would also explain how the key ended up in the tree outside. She tossed it over the roof as she was leaving to hide the evidence.
Did she make the peephole too?
Possible? I mean, I assumed all that was Titus being jealous, but sounds like either they were both jealous separately or Titus is covering for Ruby. I'm thinking about the peephole in the pinball workshop.
she would have seen us. My bed is right next to...
You mean to suggest she made it?
No. No. Why would she do that to herself? No, I just remembered you told me about it, and
She's not really sure. It was right above the bed. She could have seen all sorts of things from there. Don't let your imagination run wild here, sire.
Oh, thank God.
Keep it on track.
We can finally take red checks again.
she has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the
What she's saying is,
Yeah, I need to-
and more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became when I started spending time with Lely.
I don't understand.
She said she's in love with
And you led her on.
a little.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead.
So when she said there would be
Surprised at all.
shit, that was a threat?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but
But
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
okay, that's enough of that.
Okay. And what? Arrest
And?
the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
No, I'm not arresting her. What the fuck? Stay here. Put the cuffs away.
thank you.
We do know the stakes here.
Thank you. You won't regret it.
Even if she wasn't going to die, like okay, you fucking, you had some weird drama in your relationships, and someone else did something stupid. Why do I arrest you for that? That's
Something tells you, you will. She knows.
anything more about Ruby? Nothing about Ruby.
Okay.
No, I think you've exhausted that.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger.
Okay, Kim.
The precarious world.
What's this?
This better be good.
How not to lose. It is impossible not to. The world is balanced on the edge of a knife. It's a game of frayed nerves. You're pushed on by numbers and punitive measures. Pain, rejection, and unpaid bills.
I always pay my bills.
Play, or you can crawl under a boat and waste away. Turn into salt, or a flock of seagulls. Your enemies would love that. Or you can fight. The only way to load the dice is to keep on fighting.
You ready for it? You ready what we get?
Yeah. Oh.
All right.
Interesting.
Wait, critical
So
success.
little bit of odds hedging there.
They're both lowered by 1. So
Okay,
we can get a critical success on an 11
yes.
and
And a critical failure never?
yeah, that's the part I'm confused cuz like it's at
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
yeah.
Okay, so there was something else we needed to do here, right? The window.
Oh, right. The window got replaced.
No, it's fine. We need to do it from inside.
I just didn't realize. I didn't think it was another loading screen. Hello. Yeah, so they replaced the window. We inspected it already, though.
Yeah, but something changed.
We made note that the glass was new.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
Okay, let's see if I got any visual calculus. Logic, rhetoric, encyclopedia, conceptualization, logic, drama, visual. Am I under the influence of a cigarette?
How long does that last?
I don't know.
Because for some people, that's like 10 minutes.
Right? Let's see. Bonus from items, I got the 2. A learned skill. Oh, from the point I put into it. I don't think I am. But do I need that? I'm pretty good right now,
This
and it's
window
not a
You're
hard
probably
shot.
fine.
pristine on the
Yeah.
inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp
Biggity boom.
golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness
What
said,
position are
the
they in?
man
Oh,
is
yeah.
kneeling. The woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Comes from...
Location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
What about the ghostly figures?
The bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Yeah, if I gotta die, I'd prefer it that way.
The ray
Yeah, this
cast
guy
from
got-
the man's
this
mouth
fucking war
unravels into a
criminal got
fan
off
of
pretty
possible
easy.
Directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
He got to go out high as balls and fucking at the same time.
And dead before he realized what was going on. That's 3 for 3. We should all be so lucky, minus the war crimes.
Is that what I need to do?
War crimes? Please don't. There's easier ways.
All right.
Shouldn't there be gun residue? There's a Patton Oswalt joke about Nickelback that's really relevant there. Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm like 80% sure that the roof is where the shot came from.
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot.
Probably not kneeling, though, considering...
The lights were on.
how high they shot.
Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside, and then they fucking elbowed the window on their way out?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Any arguments against the roof?
That you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Yes!
All right, you want the data?
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precise.
Prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
To the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Okay, but it's not impossible given some of this guy's enemies, considering that the hit was to kill him and had nothing to do with whatever your name is, Clausia.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere, on an islet in the Bay of Martinez perhaps. There are islets there. badly charted as they may be, the shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Okay, Kim, so do you think any of that is likely?
From where, precisely?
Those places I just went over.
I see
in
you
my
have
head.
given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less, but
Okay,
still.
well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Blink.
What do you think?
Well, we've got
Because that
two-
gives us a lot to investigate now.
Sure, but the far off locations are easy to cross off the list, and also considering the two people involved, they're directly tied to potential motivations. If the killer was here to scare off or start shit with Claudia, then the roof is more likely. If it was someone who was specifically trying to kill Lely, then his military background would make some of those other targets or those other locations a possibility, even though they're a very slim possibility. But isn't that how mystery stories work?
Yes. Yeah, that's an interesting contradiction you've pointed out.
Yeah. Well, let's go to the boardwalk.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's nighttime.
We need to see
5
ourselves.
loading screens later.
We need to see ourselves off to the boardwalk. Oh man, I'm going to be at a karaoke bar after rehearsal tonight. What should I sing? Creep.
No, I don't need to hear that song anymore. It's really like my least favorite Radiohead song.
What's like the worst karaoke song imaginable?
I don't know, because like for whatever bad song I could think of, or whatever song that would be butchered that I could think of, I'm sure there's worse out there.
Well, because you figure a karaoke bar is, lively and fun, and people are trying to have a good time. They want to hear... Wait, what happened? Hey, Harry. Hey, Harry.
I wouldn't tempt it. It looks like you can get stuck there.
What are these superpowers, Harry? But yeah, people want to hear, fucking Don't Stop
yeah, everyone's
Believing.
here.
And nope, not up there.
All right, so first we need to save.
They don't want to hear this depressing bullshit.
Whoa, they're gonna hear it.
They don't want me to get up there and fucking sing, Cats in the Cradle.
You need to approach this situation logically. Ask him why he has the PA system installed if you can't use it.
Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style. Why do you even have this PA system if no one's going to use it?
It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
What happened in 44?
A lot of people got killed because some arsehole wanted to sing karaoke.
I don't believe you. It's not a prop. I know it's used.
Yes, it's for some clients.
I've paid my bills.
Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
He's lying,
Ah.
but whatever. You don't really need his lame tracks.
It's all right. I've got my own with me.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard. This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
You shall karaoke me, good sir.
Fine, fine. Climb on that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my hair. I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself. Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
But not before tonight.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Dress code inside. I get a bonus point for wearing the
You get a
kimono.
bonus point. Oh my god.
Hit it,
There is worth to failing this one.
Hit it, Gart.
The air is thick with
10.
anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
I would often go there, to the tiny church there, the smallest church in San, though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there, toward the Seven Sisters, toward those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there, in that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here, looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Sad Town.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Oh no, I want both of these. It's all shit, Gart.
Yes, well, I'm just doing my job, that's all. But, are you done now? Can I unplug the microphone? I'd like to unplug the microphone.
Workers of the world, unite! Karaoke for the people.
Alright, so can we flub this check?
Let's see.
I'm only asking for completion's sake. That's important, right?
Okay, so how do we...
I don't know, it's gonna be hard. You might have to take it. You might have to take some debuffs.
We're very dramatic.
Yeah, I know. It's like the one drama check. The one big drama check.
Alright, so let's see. What clothes do I have that take away from drama? If any. There's that. There's that.
Are we wearing anything right now that... Are we wearing that mesh shirt?
Yeah, that mesh shirt.
That's
needs to
drama.
go. Let's see. What else can we do? Drama.
Okay, drama's 3. That's pretty good.
All right. Yeah, we can make that work.
Hey, was there something you needed? No, you
I need to do karaoke. What's it there if you don't? Ba-ba-ba-ba. I know it's
Okay, yes,
used. I pay my bills. Here's the tape.
This is the look of a man who...
fine.
I'm having it. Oh, yeah. Time to do the damage.
Do the damage. Ba-ba-ba. Who wanted an encore?
The
I
stage
did.
is all...
So,
But
are you
then
ready for
specifically-
your thing now?
Oh boy.
Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Look, Kim, I'm going to sing karaoke.
I can see that.
Test it. Or look around the room first. That'll make
The
it
bar
harder.
is full and buzzing with chatter.
Give myself stage fright.
Paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. Even worse. You're sweating. They are going to hate you.
Really? That seems like I should have gotten a stage fright penalty.
Put your lips against the microphone?
Check. 1, 2.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand? Hands. Where do you put your hands?
There we go. The hand conundrum. Hit it, Gart.
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. A lump's in your throat suddenly.
I would often go to the tiny church there, the smallest church in Sanson. Now it once was larger. How the real may rest there, down through the mist there, towards the Seven Sisters, towards those.
What's sad is this actually sounds a little bit like the lead singer of the Buzzcocks. And I really like the Buzzcocks.
Stay there
So,
in the
Ancient Reptilian Brain did the spoken word version. This is your limbic system.
I have been so glad
Suddenly I went from Tom Waits to a 16-year-old Robert Smith.
forward to the past here. But now
My limbic system doesn't know shit about shit.
you're all alone.
That's a fucking Tom York move right there.
None of this matters.
Fall to the floor, start crying.
No, Tom York falls to the ground and gesticulates.
He looked like he was about to. His knees were heading that way.
Do you hear that? It's the most pathetic applause in the world, Harry. Made of pity.
Is that not good enough for you fuckers?
You hear, or think you hear, uncomfortable shifting around. A bit of laughter, maybe. No one saying anything.
Well, if you didn't like that, who wants to see my gun? Lost gun.
I'm gonna unplug the mic now, okay?
Fuck you.
Someone walks out of the room by the front door. Some woman. Is it because of you?
You don't know what good singing is.
That's it. I'm unplugging it.
That's it. You're unpowered.
Let's go, officer. These people wouldn't know a good performance if it beat them in the ass.
Oh, Kim, you liked it?
Detective Dubois, it was downright tragic.
Not alike.
He thinks. To him,
And that's canon.
RCM was truly expressed in that
You get the same
performance.
amount of experience.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It doesn't
I think you still-
incentivize.
I think you got 30 both ways.
I like when they don't incentivize one over the other. Like one, moral path. Where's my kimono? Oh, how I missed you. Good. That's our default outfit, yeah? Yeah. Hey, Titus, did you hear my song?
It's you again. What is it?
I sang. Did you hear it? Okay, now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
I have seen her in a laudanum-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I mean, you're in a bar. They should have some. It's probably under the well.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
I mean, I've
Well,
got a theory. Hold on. Let me put on my logical clothes.
let me get out of my illogical kimono.
And put on my logical blazer. My logical flip-up glasses.
Oh shit, when is communism meeting?
Oh shit, when is communism meeting? Titus, you might have gotten yourself a stay of execution.
I don't think it's time for it yet, but I just thought of it.
Get yourself organized. Here we are. Oh, I got an hour and a half. Or slightly over an hour. Titus, your execution is back on the menu. Feel the power of my logical jacket.
It's you again.
God,
What is
save me if I ever get a fucking plaid jacket like that. Badoosh!
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex.
7.
The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
She did it!
A massive activity spike in the amygdala copicum, The part cops use to pin murders on people.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't do it?
Because she was here all night with us.
I
He's
mean,
covering
okay.
together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She never went to the bathroom?
She was here all night, 11:30 to 12:15. She was here during all that time.
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
Didn't go to the toilet?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not true.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
Of course, Ruby is the lady driver in this great big jam mystery. Probably. You'll have to keep investigating. They'll never open up about it.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
Objection!
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
A skilled Zambo artist could have climbed the outer wall like a spider. No, there's a secret route that leads straight to the roof.
Oh.
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Thank you, old man.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
I mean, there's a fucking there's an elevator and a staircase, dude. I've walked up, I've done both. I don't...
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
And from there, a door leads to the roof. You can just step on it.
We could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Shut the fuck up, Dennis.
You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
We have firmly established that Ruby could have done the thing.
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun.
His head.
And Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
Did you know that guns don't kill people? Blood loss and massive organ damage kill people.
Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, weapons like this all over the fucking place.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's an
Yeah, there you
go. Where'd you get it?
Under the bookshop.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay, I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots.
I guess you fucking didn't then.
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
Local pawn shop, sold my lost gun. No, we know for a fact it was not. It was an old bullet from one of these old rifles. And I've analyzed the bullet. It was jacketed.
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
You don't know. Just be honest. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech loading gun.
Yeah, I
Nice
just
reaction speed.
Yeah, I just showed you the fucking thing.
Broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet.
I mean, you give me an option that says, let's not get dramatic. Have you met me? Here's the bullet. This is what killed the man.
The mushroomed death bringer in the evidence bag and says,
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4mm too.
Whoa.
Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
Moving on.
All right. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself.
Pete, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Yeah, why would she do this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
Why would Ruby give a shit?
The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Claudia told me some pretty interesting things.
Yeah. Like what?
Apparently she had a thing for Claudia.
Thing? You mean?
Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling. Fast. It's all beginning.
And Titus gets it.
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Angus don't get
Thanks,
it.
Angus.
Angus, you're so sweet. Go back to your whatever you're doing over there.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked classy.
Cam, I know you're trying, but maybe it's not worth it.
Look, Angus.
I know it's bewildering for me too.
We need to have a talk about the bees and the bees. It's supernatural. Oh no, there's a crack in the time-space continuum. Must be lesbians.
It must be the gays.
She probably went doing what Kim said.
Fuck you. First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too? It's a lie.
Hey Glenn, there's no need to be shitty about it.
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party.
Yeah, Dennis, that's why. That's fucking why. Shut the fuck up, Dennis.
She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Claudia said she made advances, and then they were thwarted.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit.
Not really.
Kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass.
Sort of, but he doesn't have to know that.
Ruby made her scared and she spilled the beans. I ain't no Fink.
That Ruby is queer as cabaret. Now that I start thinking.
Help me out here. I'm out of old-timey slang.
Oh, I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a hardy. But if you bring your own personal shit into our outfit.
If that's the case, then it's not right. But it's not the case, right?
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
Well, when Claudia came downstairs, Ruby knew something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Or she knew what happened because she killed him.
Not so useful.
Fucking hell.
So why'd she organize the cover-up, I
And I
guess?
suppose you have a theory about that too, cop.
Covering up for herself, that would make sense.
Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Ah, that's the first good thing you've said this whole time. But I'm afraid the rules are rules. Shut the fuck up, Dennis.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
All right, Shanky, let's assume you killed him.
I didn't do it, fucker. It wasn't my plan.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your buddies as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder?
Fuck you, man. I would never fuck my guys over like that. Especially for some bird.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Skip town, you say?
Oops.
That's some new information on my end.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, just stop. You know, don't jerk me around anymore.
He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Hey, you got a little, you might want to.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want.
Oh, please.
I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
You have any clues on where she went?
We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Does she know how to climb walls like a spider? And possibly own a gimp suit?
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
What was she scared of, aside from being, picked up by the cops and all that we just talked about?
I told you. You.
Me, personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
I shaved.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Don't forget the funny tie!
How can I forget?
You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under a billion stars.
Thank you, horrific necktie. I love you.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby say about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop, can't stop.
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other. Open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having to go on.
Don't whack Angus.
Today, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Anything else? Anything?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This called Titus, this called Pete. But she was too scared.
Have you looked for her?
On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there's some shit houses there, a cinder block town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
That's my shack.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
No fucking way. What? No. No, no, no.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM sergeant material. No, he already is a sergeant. That's what you're feeling. He just wasn't sure what you are.
Hold on. If this is going to go where I think it's going to go, I need to be dressed my best. That doesn't... No, that can't be.
What?
Redhead. Boyish.
No.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything struck you a bit off about this mishmash?
The footprints did not match.
No, they didn't.
And so far, no one's mentioned hearing the shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
I mean, we've talked about the rest of these.
Point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue. True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis and then hand-waved it. Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
That's a statistical probability. Get off my ass, me.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it. And
yeah, that's right.
She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no use harassing her further.
I know it was you.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
You there.
You don't want to fuck with me. I got my hands bloody. I'm not here, pig. You're not seeing this.
You can still see the top of her hat from behind the fence.
I'll die before I... What's this kid shit? Fucking mind games. I'd rather die than squeal.
Get the fuck out of here, face. You got something. Talk to me.
Hey, Kuno, I need to arrest your friend here.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit.
I'm bad to the bone.
Kuno's pies. You're just shit at life. Now what's your case with Kuno?
Okay, you got nothing to say there.
No, whatever you're thinking,
Kunessa is Ruby.
Conclude thought.
Kunessa is Ruby. I'll prove it. You won't get away with this, you tiny
Good luck
murderer.
with that one.
Short, red-headed, boyish, out on the coast. Kunessa just appeared suddenly
And
out of
not 8
nowhere.
years old.
You don't know. Have you seen Orphan?
Not 8 years old.
30 with a medical condition that makes her look like she's 8. Sorry, spoilers for Orphan, I guess.
Sneak up on me again.
I'll prove you did it. After I come back from communism meetings. Which I've still got to kill like 20 minutes from that. What can we do to kill some time? Oh, we can go try that red check with Gaston now that we're no longer debating the precariousness of the world.
You could, but do you need to be there at 2200 sharp?
I know a dystrophic, am I pronouncing that right? Dwarf who was 28 when I met her and looked 12. A very heavily tattooed and drinking 12-year-old. After 2200. So maybe not sharp, but like...
Okay.
I think we'll be fine. Damn it, Gaston! What do you mean you're
it's
not...
nighttime. They're not going to be there.
What do you mean you're not playing bocce ball at 11 o'clock at night in the cold and the rain? Or 10 o'clock at night. I can read military time. This is Europe. Who cares?
Do you have that book about cockatoos?
I have that book about cockatoos. But
You can read that to pass the time.
Between those trucks down there. Smokes. Smokes. Didn't we also find out that...
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Got any smokes?
Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting for the sweet release of death.
Yeah, I can relate. I felt that way in traffic.
You really need them smokes. Need them. Got to get some. You sure he's not lying to you?
You're not holding out on me, are you?
Isn't he like smoking right now? The smell is in the air.
You're smoking right now.
Okay. But this is my last one. And it's a bad habit. You should quit before both of us have lung cancer.
Do you know about any lady truck drivers?
I don't want to talk about that.
This guy knows Ruby, no doubt. Just play dumb for now. Get everything out of him you can.
Okay, let's change this. None of these is really,
against his...
I don't want to...
None of these is playing dumb, really.
No doubt. Just play dumb for now. Get everything out of him you can.
What do you know?
Man, I was hoping she'd catch a break. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some mastermind evildoer. And I don't know where she is.
Who is she to you?
An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. She's someone I don't want to rat out to the law, okay?
What's she look like?
A youngish woman. Gruff, but in a cool way.
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here. Blue before she went.
Then she may have dyed it again. Maybe she dyed it red. Titus said Ruby's hair is red.
Who this person is? What name?
Thank God I don't know. People here call her the lady driver.
I'm gonna step out for
She
a sec.
kept her
I'll be
name a
back.
secret.
All right.
From me too. Now
Again, not a lie as far as you can tell.
When did she leave?
damn, I don't want to. Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad. She's not a bad person. I know that much.
We can't just let it go. It's part of a police investigation.
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. The girl's troubled. If you hunt her down, she may not survive it. I can't have that on my conscience.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you.
You said troubled.
She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you think it's all over. And you're looking for a way out.
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her.
Everyone's afraid of her. You're not?
I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her. More like for her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind.
When she left, did she leave her lorry behind?
Man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her. They'd be more than happy to rat her out.
He's right. There are other options. The raceman, for one. Wait, this guy says they're friends, then acquaintances. And he's okay with others ratting her out.
So he is afraid.
Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect you to be pals. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son. It's right here. The answer is right here. You just need to ask him. Come on, do it.
So you're all right with others ratting her out?
Fine. I don't want to be a butcher. And I don't want to be a knight either. I just want to be a person who can sleep at night. A little fame wouldn't hurt, too.
Look, I need this or I can't finish the investigation, Tommy. Help me out here.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill for your own. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax. Ask.
Where is she?
Here.
The keys to a motor lorry. Pretty complex. Looks like a chain lock.
The lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday.
And why do you have these keys?
She left them to me. Because she trusted me. So I can get it out of the way when the jam breaks loose. Otherwise...
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
Now,
one more thing.
I need to think my own thoughts now. Pray forgiveness for my sins. Go check your cabin. I hope it gets you something. Help someone. Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
That's all for now. Bye. Time for communism meeting. I don't know. Should I feel bad about Tommy? Like, someone killed somebody and you're helping cover up a murder and you feel bad that you're doing that. Or you feel bad that you're not doing that. I don't know, Tommy. Maybe I'm a dick, but I don't fucking care. Birds. Alright, so where the fuck... What room was the meeting in? I don't remember. The meeting was in... Come in. It doesn't... I just... Stebbins' house. Let's see. You old lady, where's Stebbin live?
Give me a moment.
Do you know anything about a secret meeting?
No. Nobody tells me anything.
What about something after 10
It's
o'clock?
my business. I'll keep my nose out of it.
Okay, we
Oh.
both know that's a lie.
I think we'd all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves.
Stupid nose.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10.
Knock, knock.
Communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
What? It's the police. Open up.
To open the door? Did you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get...
That's not the one.
Isn't it the one behind Cindy?
Is it the one behind Cindy?
I think it's up on the landing, yeah.
Let's go find out. I made Tommy feel like a bad person, and I got the keys to Ruby's lorry.
Oh, from him?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't follow up on Ruby that much.
She's
Believe
the killer!
I know, in my playthrough. Hey, I didn't say my playthrough was successful. You don't have to do any of this shit. I was a sorry hobo cop.
I'm an apocalypse superstar hobo cop.
I had some of that.
Communist.
Nope, that's not it.
Yeah, Tommy was like, oh, now I feel like a bad person. I'm like, why? She killed somebody. You barely knew her. Oh no, because she had a hard life? I had a hard life. I haven't shot anybody in the head.
Yet. Give it some time.
Thanks.
You'll find the reasons.
Thank
we
you.
all will. Together.
Vote of confidence. I love it. Thank
I
you.
was trying to stay positive here. Come on.
We'll all go to MagFest together and learn to find the homicidal maniac inside all of us. I'm a little bummed I can't make it to MagFest, but I just can't afford it.
It's expensive when you need to fly to it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm spending a good, like, $500 on a room, but I haven't been on a vacation in 2 years, so...
That's reasonable. Plus, you can just drive. It's in, what, Maryland?
Yeah, I'm getting a ride with somebody.
Yeah. So...
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez. Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure. No,
we're here.
That's just slightly burnt coffee.
That's just coffee.
You would recognize.
Relax, Rhetoric.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
Hey, it's past curfew. Go to bed.
Go ahead and arrest me, officer. I swear I'll go peacefully.
The metal grill is cool to the touch. You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket.
Relax, they're only communists.
Something's not right here. The equation doesn't quite balance, which is just to say we should be prepared for any eventuality.
You can make out at least two separate voices. Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
Bangity, bangity, bangity.
Clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
Are you communists? I'm looking for communists.
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get
Look,
out of here.
I've already built like 0.0001% of communism. but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
Silence.
What's the passphrase?
Fuck!
No, yeah, we have this.
That doesn't mean I remember it. Remember? Yeah, remember. Ha! Remember these nerds.
Remember.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way. No, they're still there. You can feel them back there.
Alright. The keys stick to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
Why do I get the sense they're making pipe bombs? Like in that movie.
Oh, Fight Club?
I was going to say Across the Universe, but that works too.
I was joking. No, in Fight Club, they just get, like, military-grade explosives, right?
Yeah. In Across the Universe, though, the one guy joins the fucking underground and blows himself up making a pipe bomb.
Ignoring your entrance.
I don't remember that part.
Because there's a plot to that movie, but who cares? It's a series of Beatles music videos.
It's a bunch of Beatles music videos.
Yeah.
They're, like, colorful and shit.
Eddie Izzard's in there. She's all circusy. It's a good time.
Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are stacked so haphazardly, it's like they want them to collapse.
What are you doing?
Careful, careful.
Oh, no!
Well.
Damn.
Damn. Hardly any difference. You two. You are late.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Okay. I didn't know that, but...
Fuck you, Echo Maker.
One leader and one follower. The most ancient power dynamic. Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
My apologies, comrades. I had to be sure I wasn't being tailed by our class enemies.
He's taken your measure, like an ideological boxer stepping into the ring.
Oh, you mean like this? And then punch him in the face.
This must be the theory combat the Boyadero warned you about. On guard.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
So, I can't remember if I've said this already, but apparently certain law enforcement officials tried to infiltrate communist organized groups here in these United States.
Did they do the reading?
They could not do the reading, no.
What do you mean they could not?
Have you ever tried talking to, like, a modern far-left communist person in these here United States?
No, my brain kind of melts.
They are some of the most gatekeepy, intellectually wanky douchebags you've ever met. I agree with them ideologically, but I don't ever want to talk to them in the face.
Yeah, okay.
And all they do, like, the stereotype in this case is true. All the ones I've met, all they want to do is talk about how they've read more and know more about it than you do. And I hate it.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading.
I've done the reading. I know that. I did. The words.
You have. Excellent. Let's hear your critique then.
I thought the themes were interesting.
They always say that when they haven't done their reading.
Shut up, Stephen.
This is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Well, have you read Kropotkin?
Maybe they can explain themselves.
What are you doing with those matchboxes?
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for two guys who are just messing around.
Maybe I should go dance the flamenco on those boxes.
It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could.
What are you doing?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably
yes, of
the
course.
best way to describe it.
Never mind.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinaise.
So no direct action. Nothing.
Esteban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
And he's just not that into you. I'm sorry. Oh, but can I square off in theory combat?
Known to get into some spirited debates. But it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Says the man named Echo Maker.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Okay, so what does your reading group actually read? What are the...
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
Volition, no.
Wonder.
Detaches. The voices of the young men fade away. It's a cool evening, you notice.
What's around the room?
Your eye drifts over the detritus and mismatched furniture. It naturally gravitates toward the pieces of canvas that cover a missing stretch of wall. The way they billow in the night breeze reminds you of something.
Wild beast tangled in a sheet.
Yes, an image to get the blood pumping. An unpredictable power fighting to free itself. The beast is you. A mass of teeth and claws and violent urges. You let the invigorating sensation course through you. Then turn your attention to the two young men who appear just about finished.
And before that, there was Abelard's Impé Infernal.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Who's this Ignace Nilsson guy?
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and a founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Plasm, huh? Sounds like a hell of a drug.
Do you have any of this plasm on hand?
You're gonna get some of that.
You're not holding out plasm on me, are you?
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Where's the rest of the reading group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
Shouldn't a group have, like, more people in it?
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
Okay, but, like, where'd they go?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory.
Hey, you know what? Maybe I just want to fucking read Stephen King sometimes. Get off my dick.
Imagine the audacity of wanting to read a novel.
Unbelievable.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
We've tried recruiting new members,
Didn't want to
but
agree with you,
unfortunately
you
the
prick.
current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them, you're one of them.
Did you say something about turnips?
It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Ooh.
Wow. A real intellectual, it sounds like.
Right. So a few weeks ago, we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
What does inframaterialist theory say about turnips again?
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
What?
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
So
I was just going to say, I don't understand at all.
You expelled him over an argument about turnips.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
So what's up with Cindy? Why is she...
Cindy is... How to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
I want to take these two and Gary and fucking toss them into a knife pit together and see who comes out, and then take the winner and shoot him in the fucking head.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio
We're finally
space,
here
of
with the
course.
real communists.
Sure. Who are the iconoclards? That sounds like an insult.
For starters, they love talking about beans.
What's wrong with beans? I like beans. Beans are great.
Sure. But iconoclards are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building...
Nota bene, iconoclad is an extra pejorative form of the already pejorative name, Mazovian economists, a moderate school of Mazovianism which advocates the gradual transition to communism through carefully managed economic modernization rather than violent social revolution.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Okay, so we're dealing with, like, some anarcho-capitalists here.
Ah, yes. The much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
Are the beans a metaphor?
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
Literal mountains of literal beans. Just beans blotting out the sun.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts. So now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see,
what?
Iconoclasts claim to be communists. But in reality, they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
Hey, I like spreadsheets.
They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets.
Hey, you can't say that word anymore.
Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that because his dad is from Gottwald.
What? What's so depressing?
The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself. That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Sounds rewarding, actually.
If it were, they wouldn't keep committing suicide.
I suppose you got me there.
You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
And what about the liberals? Are they liberals too?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Basically indistinguishable from
course.
fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
Go ahead.
Did you kill the soldier man?
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
Of course not. That would require actually doing something.
Intellectual vanguard.
The intellectual vanguard. Are you affiliated with the Union?
No. We're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
Okay, but what is your stance on lynching? How do you feel about lynching as an activity?
Our stance? What? Do you want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
The SRV refers to the People's Republic of Samara, established as a socialist utopia by survivors of the revolution. It has since degenerated into a bureaucratic workers' state under the decades-long rule of President Sapormat Sport Kanazinski.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-tribes' dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through.
That's because these dipshits have wrapped themselves in 12 layers of irony, and not even they know anymore.
It's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to
You just had to blow a nose to the head real quick.
You may witness it yet.
Alright, crime. How you feel crimes?
Easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself. It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
Are there any operational communists in Martinez? Anyone actually doing anything?
Unfortunately, the communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
Like this one?
His companion's eyes widen as you hold up the ancient...
I imagine he's holding the gun like this.
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up behind the masonry.
12.
Can I hold it?
Sure.
It's heavier than I was expecting.
Though what, exactly, you can't say. He turns the rifle over again, admiring the glint of light off the oily barrel. When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
Is the reading group accepting new members?
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process with essays and presentations on assigned topics. But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Steban, you can't be serious. For these gendarmes?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, he'll still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Oh no, it's a composure check.
I can do that. 1 second.
Sure.
Sleep well.
Let me judge your room. First, I'm going to steal your high-vis vest. I've been showing up to work without my high-vis gear. I need to fix that. No war but class war. Oh, and of course they take, like, way too much pride in the amount of coffee they drink. The Phasmid. Alright, composure. I can be composed. I've done it before. Let's see. 6. Yes.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
So this is some Cindy shit over here?
Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
Radical.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio.
You like
Oh,
it?
sure. It's definitely interesting, I would say.
I thought interesting was what people said when they don't have anything to say.
His companion's eyes widen with interest.
I do that every time I can.
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it.
You flustered the poor boy. Now he's got to say something.
Yeah, now you can't just hide behind intellectual wankery. Now you've got to actually take an opinion on something, dickhead.
You could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
Oh, I forgot. They can always
bullshit.
they can always just come up with gibberish.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I hate this guy so much.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions.
What's up? What's with this place?
deal-
What's going on?
At a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Yes, Dabon, you're the best. Don't look in my diary.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow.
Yes, now keep developing the idea.
That must make us the bone weevils.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Hi, we are the Bone Weevils, and we're here to rock you and make you feel bad about things.
Not as good as Steban's original idea, though.
Obviously.
My first rock and roll idea went to fucking Scott Pilgrim. What is wrong with me?
Go ahead.
Harmless book slug.
I still need a 10.
Yep.
Huh. I've got no other conditional modifiers, really? Talk to Cindy. Maybe
You don't have any drugs in you.
That's true. I don't have any drugs in me, so that's another 2 points. Take a fuck ton of meth and make myself composed.
Make myself good at communism.
Hey, meth and some kind of painkillers. See if Cindy has anything that'll. Wait a second. Give me a little bump. Not that kind of bump. I can get that bump all on my own.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
No, I want to talk to you about your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have drugs and a really high skill ceiling, so let's try it. Yeah, crotch thrust. Yeah. Another coffee, Steban? God, I fucking hate this little
The
toad so
gendarme
much.
returns. What do you need?
All right. All right, the drugs have helped.
Is it getting warm in here? There seems to be a little pool of sweat forming in the depression of your lower back.
I'm not nervous. I'm a superstar.
Oh, totally. A superstar breaking out in a cold sweat.
Definitely not sweating. No, sir.
Excellent work. Now there's a dark handprint on the back of your shirt. Everyone will be able to see the evidence of your overactive sweat glands.
They're just a couple of kids.
Be frank, they're probably way smarter than you. You bet they've read more books than you can even name.
Shut up, composure.
Of course, it wouldn't kill you to crack open a book every once in a while. The hardest part will just be working up the nerve to ask without soiling yourself.
Everything all right, gendarme? You look a little green about the gills.
Can I... Where is book? Where is book? Book, book, book. I want book.
Book?
This is a book.
Yeah.
In your hands you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow. Indeed, the book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead. It would do that in Grad.
How long is this book, anyway?
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through, really reading.
Look, I just started reading the fucking Dresden Files, and they are stupid and popcorny, and I've gotten through 4 of them in the last week. So, whatever.
Wait, why are we reading the book though?
Because it might give us a bonus.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph.
Reading a book passes time, just so you know.
What does she look like?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Let's start reading.
Cold, detached to prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugograd riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugograd Spring. Like all such periods, it is frequently memorialized in art and literature. As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes.
Then what happens?
Physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
10 more pages.
They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair.
Oh no!
each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his former existence. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka Polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, he has nothing to do but dedicate himself to the craft.
And the woman?
She spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin, as every single one of her dreams dies, one by one. The memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more decrepit.
Why can't I put this book away?
Life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. Their final thoughts are filled with regret. In cold, the Yugo grow as ethnic. It would physically hurt you to keep. They go through. He toils through the daily drudgery. She spends the memory of their short time spent.
This is terrible.
Their remains between the soil sheets. Their final.
I read a book.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
Oh, God damn it. I was hoping.
Oh, you thought that would affect it? No.
I thought that would give me a bonus. I read a book. They kept hinting about, like, they've read more books than you. Maybe you should read some books. Fucking book. I could read A Primer for Small Kids.
That book almost murdered you.
I could read The Handwritten Note from the Fridge. That's a book. Aha!
I mean, you could.
Aha! The leading intellectual organ of Martinese communism.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Also, that last book I read that was very, like, clearly supposed to be making fun of, like, Brothers Karamazov and War and Peace and shit. And, yeah, have you ever tried to read those? They will fucking kill you. Why Friesel?
Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Ooh.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International development, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Let's take a look at the note.
As you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression.
I'm going to stand there and crunch for the exam right in front of them for 2 hours.
The way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going.
Hey, dog, are you feeling more informed yet? Are you feeling enlightened?
Are content to spoon feed their readers.
Are you feeling like you're doing good for the people?
Is committed to telling the radical truth.
Not particularly.
Even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Mesk-Messina border. Something about bear wrestling in Samara. Book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not.
Find any of those countries on a map, I dare you.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
Oh, I wonder who that could be.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known
oh my God.
the so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. That certainly sounds like a certain delinquent youth who likes to harass you from her balcony.
What do they got to say about the Tip Top?
You're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top.
Oh no!
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Who wrote all this?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nazteb and Kalat.
Yeah.
Just a moment. Those names seem awfully familiar.
Do they? Oh, they're fucking they're fucking anagrams. Look at that. Nosteb and Exilius. I've read your fucking bullshit, you fuckers.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment.
Did you know that Tip Top Tourney is actually an orgiastic ritual of capitalistic destruction? I had no idea.
I thought it never crossed my mind, Detective.
I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race.
Oh, that's right. Kim's like a car guy.
With a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What about local concerns?
Much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Finally, there's a brief...
We let someone else do all the work.
Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
I mean, that is pretty ridiculous.
The writer G.
Fuck the
Martin
landlords.
remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution. Good thing your rent-paying days are behind you. You flip back to the front of the magazine.
Okay. I read your communist magazine.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
I'm a somewhat bookish toad.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Got this. Just
3.
Open your mouth and say the words. Those sounds. They're like the last mumblings of a mortally wounded badger. There's nothing you can do. It's like your lips have been glued together.
Everything in order, Detective? As in, no, everything is not in order? Can you give me a negative, Detective?
What are you worried about? You've read plenty of books. Why don't you take a little pause, come back once your mind's clear?
Is everything all right? Is he trying to say something?
It seems he's lost his words. A case of momentary aphasia, it looks like. These things happen with him sometimes. I recommend a change of subject.
This isn't going to work. Maybe there's some other way you can prove yourself to them.
You wrote that article in the thingy.
You've read our article.
That I did not expect.
Well, don't keep us on tenterhooks. What did you think of the essay?
The delicate egos on these boys. Even though you're just some cop, they're desperate for your approval. Hey, you're not just some cop. You've got highly developed critical faculty.
The worst insult you could give to a young intellectual communist. You should keep developing your ideas.
Well, of course, that's just an initial foray into the subject. We're hoping to return to it for a more substantial treatment next term. In any case, I'm glad our piece found its audience. That's always the hope with these things.
Oh, come on. Oh, that should have given me... All right. Well, time to do all the drugs again. Because they all wore off while we were reading. This is why you should never read, kids.
The gendarme returns. What do you need?
Nope. Still no words. Your confidence account is overdrawn. What are you even doing here?
I have made so many deposits in my confidence account.
Have you considered reading a book?
I've read lots of books.
Lots of words in.
Who needs books? I have skill points. Go fuck yourself.
The gendarme returns.
Take a deep breath. You've done some these past few days, but you also also know there's more to life than what you find in books. Now,
who's the best communist in the world now? All right, let's do this interview.
Oh, you want to start now? Sure, we can manage that.
You've caught him off balance. The momentum is already in your favor.
Go ahead and take a seat. Since we haven't had time to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire, I think we can keep this interview more freeform. Why don't you tell us a bit about the books you're interested in? And we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Look, guys, I gotta be honest. I may not have read many books, but that doesn't mean I don't have stories.
Okay, we'll bite. What sort of stories are we talking about?
A real-life procedural, complete with gory details. Give them sex and drugs. They're clearly not getting any.
You ever hear of a little thing called sudden onset acute amnesia?
Oh, we're getting into the psychiatric pathologies of life under capital. Let's see where this goes.
Yes, I'm rather curious myself.
You've got them. They're starting to loosen up. You're relaxed and in control. You deftly weave every piece of the story together.
I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to wake up with no concept of what money is.
If you encountered it in a novel, you'd say it sounded like a plot contrivance or like a fantasy.
But isn't the point of money itself just a collective fantasy?
But it's a fantasy that pays for things.
Kim is just not having any of this.
No, it's just like Mazovro. The freeman of the future will be he who awakens in perfect ignorance of capital.
Wait, Steban, are you saying the gendarme is some kind of future communist?
Yes.
Another quarter
our
of an
ignorance
hour disappears.
makes us great.
The conversation bounces back and forth.
Ignorance is strength.
Whatever their pretensions, it's clear these two have been craving.
We have always been at war with Yugograd.
Now you can sense things starting to slow down. Time to wrap this tale up.
Even if you could somehow unpeel time, it wouldn't be you who gets rich from these
But
investments.
that would imply that whenever you unpeel time, you leave behind some kind of doppelganger in no time.
Good God, have we really been talking time for a quarter hour?
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. But listen, gendarme. We could use someone with your breadth of expertise. With just a little more theoretical background, I think you'll be able to make some real contributions.
Yes, I would say he's got serious potential at least.
And with that, welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez. Here's your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere.
I'll add it to my very extensive reading list.
You're going to fit right in, I think. Come back when you're done. We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m.
Oh my God, there's homework. Of fucking course, there's homework.
Good. This is what you got into, man.
Oh.
Now you have to read theory.
Now I've got to read all the fucking theory. I still haven't gotten through the conquest of bread, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. Meanwhile, the strike goes on. People are starving in the streets. The workers are not being supported and being ground into dirt by their bosses. I need to put on my comfy clothes. That's better.